Hi all. The continuation of the previous one. So let's see about the threshing. This is one of the first unit operation that we undergo after harvesting any crop. So threshing is nothing but like we can see in the image itself. Like if we take a wheat crop, so after threshing, what happens is it is separating the outer portions that are adhered to the grain. That is, the grain is being separated from rachis, glooms, lemma, and palliae. These are the different layers that are present outside the grain. Okay. So threshing is nothing but the process of loosening the edible part of the cereal grain from the scalpy inedible chaff that surrounds it. So it is nothing but the process of removing the grain from the chaff or the stem of the cereal crops. So this operation is like we are detaching it from the spikes, panicles, ear heads, cobs or the pods, that we call it as a threshing. So like basically in simple terms we can tell the removal of the grains from the plant by striking, threading or rupturing. So it is a repeated process of pounding and dragging of the plant mass over a surface or through an aperture. So what happens is that due to that the leaf and the stalk portions of the plant mass will undergo a deformation. So the basic principles that are applied behind the process of threshing is, the first one is the rubbing action, we can see in that image, then impact, then last one stripping. So these are all the three principles that works for the process of threshing. It is mainly done after which the moisture content of the grain is reduced to 15 to 17%. So the basic principles of threshing. So there are four principles behind threshing operation. First one, it is based on the principle that when impact is given on crops, the grains are separated. So the crop mass will pass through a gap between a drum and a concave where wearing or a rubbing action will take place, and it will separate that particular grain from the panicle. Next, what happens is that rupture of the bond between grains and the ears. So that we are telling that at first time, due to that impact force, the panicle gets separated from the grain. So due to the wearing or rubbing action, what happens is that the beaters have been used to separate the grains from the spikes. So that is the second principle. Third is the strength of the bond between the grain and the panicle. So that we can determine with the help of the what type of crop, variety, moisture content of the crop and the ripening phase of the grain. And the last one, the efficiency and the quality of threshing will mainly depend on the what type of drum is used and the speed of the rotation of the drum, number of beaters used to either beat or rub for the separation of the grains and the panicles, gap between the concave and the drum, quality and the condition of the plant mass fed to the thresher, direction of feeding and the rate of feeding. So these are the four principles behind that. So coming to the traditional methods. So first one, as we can see in the picture, we all know about this, the hand beating method. This is usually done for threshing the rice that easily shatters, that is at a low moisture content. The output obtained by this method is the 17 to 20 kg per hour. So this second traditional method is we can thread by using the bullocks. So in India we can tell that bullock threading, in which the crop is spreading the the threshing floor in a circle and the bullocks are made to walk on it in a circular path. So by this the output of this will be 140 kg per hour. So coming into the different disadvantages that we undergo due to the traditional method is nothing but the first one, as we all know, this is since it is done by animal or manual, it is very slow. It gives a very low output. Due to low output, the cost of operation will be high, and since there is a huge loss of grains because of the rodents, birds and the insects. So coming into the components of the thresher. So we all know as there are many disadvantages due to the traditional threshing method. Now we can look into the many threshers have been fabricated that are being used in practice for threshing the grains. So what are the components of thresher? Will be concave, a threshing cylinder, and a cleaning unit. So concave is nothing but we can see in a picture where a concave and a cylinder is there. So you can see the overall picture behind at the lower end, where concave shaped metal grating partly that is surrounding the cylinder, against which the cylinder will rub the grains from the plant or ear heads, or through which the grains will fall on the sieve. So these are the different components of a threshing.